Welcome again to the Franciscan Hermitage here in Indianapolis, Indiana, as we celebrate the 28th Sunday Ordinary Time. You know, my dear friends, these readings, as I have mentioned many times over all these series, you know, these readings are here to help us to enrich our lives. That's what it's all about. And so we have to read the scriptures as these spiritual documents that are going to be helping us to live our lives with more meaning and in a joyful way. Now, you know, in the first reading, Damon was in a situation in which he had to deal with leprosy, and was told, well, go into the Jordan, and then he experienced what we call a miracle. And because of that, he has a belief in God. Now, you know, my dear friends, this kind of thing is happening all the time. You know, I recall very clearly a couple, dear friends of mine. The husband was professed atheist, and the wife was Catholic, and they somehow worked everything out. And then when they had their first child, and they put that infant into his arms, he had this profound God experience. And just like that, he became a believer, because he was looking at what he thought was a miracle. Well, my dear friends, that child is simply a visible expression of the divine. And he felt it so powerfully that it changed his belief in a minute. And you know, there are so many of these kinds of things that are going on in our own lives all the time. If you look properly, you will find the divine reflected in everything, not just human beings. You know, we had Jean Houston here to give lectures, and when she was a very small child, she was meeting this gentleman whom she called TR, and it was Teilhard de Chardin, one of the most powerful mystics of the last century. And they would meet in the park on a regular basis. And one day he bent over and he was looking at a blade of grass. And Jean said, well, what are you doing? And he said, I'm looking at God. Now she was a very small child, but that became for her one of these enlightening experiences. And she went on to become a very well-known and very influential theologian and philosopher. She touched millions of lives all over the planet. In my daily life, I am becoming more and more sensitive of the expressions of the divine in every aspect of my life. And my dear friends, that's what this reading is all about. And you know, when you have that transformative experience, then what applies is this scripture passage that says, sing a new song to the Lord. The more aware you are of the divine in your life, you are going to feel inside that you've got to be singing this song, and your life becomes very joyful. And all we do is pay attention. That's why we here at the Hermitage are so adamant about teaching meditation. And you know, this coming weekend I'm going to be giving a workshop for an introduction into spirituality and meditation. I have carried that program all over the world. And when people have a shift in their awareness, then there's a major shift in their lives. And if you can't get to this workshop, we do have it available on our website. But my dear friends, if you have the opportunity, please take advantage of it. Give yourself the gift of reflecting in such a way that you become more sensitive every day to the divine presence within you, and then watch what happens in your daily life. I hope you have a wonderful week. And remember, you are a powerful spiritual being, and your love makes the difference. God bless you all.